Yes, friends, your ears didn't deceive you. Lum and Abner in person are back to entertain you. And I know that many thousands of you listeners join me in welcoming these two lovable characters from Pine Ridge back to the air. Too, it seems quite fitting that another old friend of yours should be the one to make these radio visits with Lum and Abner possible. I'm referring, of course, to Alka-Seltzer. You know, in many respects, Lum and Abner and Alka-Seltzer are very much alike. They're both friendly. They both help you forget your troubles. And they're always dependable. If you happen to be a Lum and Abner fan who's never experienced the amazing relief that Alka-Seltzer offers for headaches, acid indigestion, minor stomach upsets, muscular aches and pains, and in cold distress, may we suggest that you do not put off trying it any longer. For you'll find Alka-Seltzer a most pleasant and effective remedy for these common ailments. And so when you hear Lum and Abner on the air, we hope you'll remember that Alka-Seltzer is a good friend to have in your home, too, because it offers you and your family pleasant relief for so many unpleasant ailments. And now, we take you to Pine Ridge. You know, the Jot 'em Down store was temporarily closed over a year ago. Well, it's been announced that the mercantile establishment will be reopened today. As we look in on the little community now, it's early morning, and we find Lum and Abner standing at the front door of their store. Listen.
Well, I'll be dead blamed if that ain't a fine howdy-do. A fine how-do-you-do, I must say. Wait all this time for a chance to open up the store and get down here, and neither one of us has got a key to unlock the door with.
Well, I just allowed you to have yours, Lum. You always carry that big bunch of keys hanging on your belt.
Yeah, but I never brung them. Whereabouts is your key?
I don't know. The last I seen of it, it was flying over the top of Old Piney Mountain.
Flying? Key flying?
Yeah, see, I let that little Matthews boy put it on a kite string here a while back, showing him how a key'll climb a kite string, you know.
For goodness sakes.
Well, it climbed it all right. But about the time it got up to the kite, well, the string broke, and the last I seen of it, the key and the kite both was sailing over Old Piney Mountain.
Granny, somebody could have found that key and broke in the store here and carried off everything we had.
Yeah, I know it. I just hated it, something wonderful, but I couldn't help it.
No use to lock the store if you're going to be losing keys all over town.
No.
That's the first thing I thought about after we closed up last year. I went right home and hid mine so there wouldn't be no chance to lose them.
Yeah, well, there ain't no use arguing now. It's done dead. Let's go over to your place and get them.
Well, wait a minute. Let's see if we can't figure out some other way to get in here.
Well, it won't take 2 minutes to run over to your place and get your keys on.
Granny, if we had a crowbar, I believe we could pry that door open.
I'll run over and get them myself. Or whereabouts are they at, Lum?
Or if we could knock out a corner of that glass there, we could reach a hand through there and unlock it from the inside.
Well, what's the use to tear up a good door when all we got to do is just run over there and get your keys, Lum?
There ought to be some way to break that in.
What's wrong with getting the keys?
Well, if you must know, Abner, I think I overdone it when I hid 'em last spring. Can't even find 'em myself.
Oh.
Tore that place upside down yesterday trying to find 'em. I don't know what I done with 'em. Might have buried 'em, but I don't know where.
For goodness sake.
Well, when we closed up, I just supposed we'd be open in a few weeks. See, there's the sign we hung on the door when we locked up, recollect? Jot 'em Down store, temporary closed.
Yeah, we had the wrong word there, Lum, at temporary. Or else I don't know what it means, one.
No, you're right. It was the wrong word. I know I couldn't have come this close to starving to death, just temporary.
Oh.
Well, here now, how are we going to get this thing open?
You reckon we could both catch hold of that doorknob and just force the lock open?
Of course not. You mean turn it... Well, I'll be dead blamed.
Did you find your key?
No, it just turned. It must not even been locked. Well, I'll be dead blamed.
You mean it's been sitting there unlocked all this time?
Must have been. Come on, let's... Look, I bet you there ain't a nickel's worth of stuff left in here.
Doggies. It's musty in here, you know it?
Here, leave that door open. Let it air out a little.
Yeah, for goodness sake.
Look at the dust.
I don't believe there's been a soul in here, Lump. Look at the candy case there. Everything's still there.
Yeah, all melted and run together.
Oh, my goodness.
And if they thought that was mixed candy when they sold it to us, they ought to see it now. No, I don't believe there's been nobody in here, Abner. Looks just like it did when we left, except for the dust.
Yeah, well, good for us. Awful honest community, I'll say that for us.
Yeah, or else nobody thought to try that door once.
No.
Let me sit down. Makes me tired to think about the work we got to do in here.
Yeah, we better get at it, Lum. Get these floors swept out the first thing.
Yeah, that's what you ought to do, Abner. Folks will notice dirty floors quicker than anything.
What I ought to do? What about you grabbing a broom there and helping me?
Have you forgot that I can't stand to sweep on account of the dust bothering my asthma?
Oh. Well, you can be straightening up them shelves then.
Well, what about that catch in my back? I can't be reaching up on them shelves. I could wash the windows.
Yeah.
If it weren't for putting my hands in that cold water and bringing my rheumatisms back.
Uh-oh. I just in hopes that this year's rest would have got you over all that, Lum.
No, I don't believe it has, Abner. When I found out one thing, a feller can get tired of doing nothing. Same as he can anything else. Just wore out from resting.
Yeah.
Wore to a frazzle. Wore to a frazzle. Or that is physical. My brain ain't tired. I can sit here and think up things for you to do all day.
Yeah, I noticed that. Now, listen, Lum. We might as well have this out right here. Now, this place has got to be cleaned up, and I ain't going to do it by myself. Now, you can just get right up from there and help me. Come on.
Wait a minute now. Hold on. Don't be in such a rage. We don't have to jump into it like we was fighting fire. Sit down a minute. Got a bunch of things to talk over here before we do any business.
What?
Well, about restocking the store, for one thing. Out of all the fresh articles, bananas and fruit, potatoes. Them potatoes over there we left here sprouted and resprouted.
Oh, yeah, them's gone, yeah. And look at them bananas hanging yonder. The stock where they's at, anyway.
That's what I say. We got to study up some way to get some new merchandise in here.
Well, we can't buy no more stuff till we sell something, Lum.
And we can't sell nothing till we get something to sell.
No.
All we got's canned goods and a little dry goods. If we could just sell a big order of what we got here for cash, we'd be all right.
Oh, sure.
I might go over and talk to Miss Bates. She's running the boarding house over at the sawmill now, you know.
Yeah.
She uses the right smart of stuff and pays cash.
Well, she's doing all her trading over at Dick Huddleston's, old Lum. You can't depend on her.
Of course, we can get 2 weeks' credit in there at the wholesale house, the county seat. And that outfit in Fort Smith will wait on us a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we might not have the money in that length of time to pay them, though, Lum.
No, but buy from one of them 1 week and then the other in the next. We can pay for one batch of stuff from what we take in on the other. Sort of rob Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah, sure. If they give us credit, why, we can... Huh?
That's the only way I know to do it.
Now, listen, Lum. I want to go back in the store business just as bad as anybody. But if we've got to start such as that, let's just close her back up right now.
What are you talking about?
That's stealing. I wouldn't stoop that low if we never opened up.
Who said anything about stealing?
You did. Said we'd rob somebody to pay Paul.
Oh, that I said rob Peter.
Well, what do we owe Paul Warner first? Got to be paid so quick.
I never said Paul Warner. Paul Smith, John Doe.
2 of them, huh? Now, listen, Lum. Them is bills that you've run up yourself, and I don't aim to help you pay them.
I ain't asking you to pay nothing.
And I ain't going to help you to rob old Peter McGillicuddy neither.
Rob Peter McGillicuddy?
Very odd is you going over and jumping on a poor old man like that, sticking a gun in his face, tying him up to a bedpost, and taking every nickel he's got in the world away from you. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Lum.
I ain't got nothing to be ashamed of.
Ain't ashamed of taking that poor old man's savings when you know he's too old and feeble to protect himself? Now, that ain't like you, Lum. That there Paul Smith and that other feller's talked you into this. That's what's happened.
Nobody's talked me into nothing.
Yes, they have done it, too. Now, you just been running in the wrong kind of company, Lum. Running up debts and then stealing from that poor old man to pay for 'em.
Well, Granny's, I must be tired, or I'd get up from here and whop you right on top of the head.
I'll tell him, I'll warn him what you're aiming to do just as sure as I'm standing here. Now, I like you and all that, Lum, but if you've took to stealing, Dad, blame it, I don't want to have a thing to do with you. Not a thing in the world. Do you hear me?
Shut up a minute. That's our ring, I think.
Huh?
That's it. Sure as the world. Answer, Dabney. Might be a customer.
Oh, nobody don't even know where to open up yet. More than likely one of them crook friends of yours. I'll tell them what I think of them, too. Hello, jot 'em down, store. Mom.
Granny's ain't improved a bit. Or to send him to school while he's gone for a year.
Oh, well, I never knowed who it was. Well, I reckon so. Yeah, give me a pencil, Lum. I got to put this order down.
Here. Talk 'em into taking all you can, Abner.
Yeah, but hello? All right, what is you wanting? Dozen cans of hominy, All right. Ain't got no potatoes.
Talk 'em into taking rice or something else.
How about some rice? About 10 pounds ought to be enough.
Make it 20.
Better make it 20. Uh-huh. 6 cans of tomatoes.
Well, make it a case while you're at it.
A case of tomatoes oughtn't to be too many, ought it? All right. What else?
Granny, that's bound to be Miss Bates over at the boarding house. She'll pay cash, too.
Ain't got no flour.
Well, tell her we'll get her some. And sell her some of them canned peaches up there, Abner.
Yeah, well, Lum says we'll get you some flour. And how about a case of canned peaches? Oh, dear. Well, a half a case, then. All right.
Granny, she's a lifesaver.
What else?
That's what I call starting business out right.
Is that all now?
Ain't been open 10 minutes.
Well, I don't know where I can carry all this stuff over there or not.
Well, sure, we'll get it over there. We can hire a wagon.
Well, Lum says we'll hire a wagon and bring it over. All right. Goodbye.
Nice work, Abner. Granny, you done good.
Well...
Let's get that order up and get it on over there right now. Bring the cash back here, and I'll go into the county seat and buy what we're needing.
Well, I don't much think that's going to be cash, Lum.
Why, sure it's cash. Miss Bates, she always pays cash.
Miss Bates? That weren't Miss Bates. That was my woman, Lizabeth, calling up a list of stuff we're needing over at the house. Now, I ain't got no money to pay for it.
For goodness sakes. One more deal like that, and we're going to have to rob Peter or somebody.
Well, it's great fun to have Lum and Abner back on the radio again, isn't it? You know, friends, as you listen to Lum and Abner on your radio, you realize that these friendly old characters always seem to find an amusing side to their troubles. But to most of us, our troubles are never amusing. For example, when we're troubled with such annoying ailments as acid indigestion, upset stomach, and heartburn, there's nothing funny about them. We often eat things that are not good for us. We sometimes eat too much, or we overindulge in other ways. And all these indiscretions tend to cause stomach distress. But there's a good answer to that, too. It's Alka-Seltzer, the friendly, modern remedy so many turn to when they want quick relief. When one of these common ailments make life miserable for you, just do this. Drop 1 or 2 Alka-Seltzer tablets into a glass of water. Watch it bubble up and dissolve. Then drink this alkalizing solution. You'll feel better fast. Always remember, when you suffer with acid indigestion, distress after meals, or overindulgence, alkalize with Alka-Seltzer. Ask your druggist to serve you Alka-Seltzer at his soda fountain, and then get a package of these effervescent alkalizing tablets to take home, ready to help you when you want pleasant relief for unpleasant ailments. And now, we take you to Pine Ridge. Well, now that Lum and Abner have opened the Jot and Down store, the old fellows are having difficulty replenishing their depleted stock of merchandise. As we look in on the little community today, we find them still arguing about straightening up the store.
Well, I swept out and washed the front windows, but I'll be dead blamed if I'm going to straighten up them shelves.
Well, wait a minute. Here comes a customer, Abner. Now, don't get to arguing while he's in here.
Oh, that ain't no customer. Just Cedric Weehum.
Well, he might want to buy something. Come in, Cedric.
Howdy, Cedric.
Good morning. I just found out you fellas had opened up the store again.
Yeah. What can we do for you?
Well, I never wanted to buy nothing. I just wondered if I couldn't sell you some eggs.
Oh, we're selling, Cedric, not buying.
Well, wait a minute, Abner. We do need some eggs. Had a call from them this morning.
Well, what are we going to use to buy them with, though?
Sit down, Cedric.
Oh.
I don't reckon I've got time, Mr. Lum. If you fellas don't want these eggs, I better take them on over to Dick Huddleston's store.
Well, sit down. Don't get in such a rush. Maybe we can work up a trade here of some kind.
Well, the kind of trading I do is for cash.
Might swap you some groceries, Cedric.
I don't need no groceries. See, I'm saving up cash so me and Clarabelle can get married.
No, me, are you and her still engaged, Cedric?
Yes, Mom, I reckon so.
Y'all been going to get married ever since you graduated from the 8th grade.
Well, I just can't get $100 saved up, though.
Well, you don't have to have no $100 to get married.
Well, that's what she says.
Well, I never had but $8 when me and Lizabeth got married.
Yeah, but look what you got.
Yeah. Huh?
You better be careful, Cedric. She might be marrying you for your money, you know.
Yeah, for $100, you ought to get somebody a heap better looking than she is, Cedric. Them buck teeth of hers, she could eat a watermelon through a picket fence.
Abner, I wouldn't say that. Beauty's only skin deep, you know.
Well, skin her then, Cedric.
For goodness sake, why don't you make up a new one once in a while?
Oh.
Well, I believe I better be going.
Now, wait a minute, Cedric. We were just joshing here. Clarabelle's a right pretty girl.
Oh, my.
Sit down. How much of that $100 have you got saved up so far?
Well, I had $60, and then I bought these dad-blamed chickens and had to start all over. Just got $23 now.
Well, that's $60 and $23 you got now, Cedric. You ain't got far to go.
Yes, Mom, but Clarabelle won't let me count the chickens, though. It's got to be all cash, she says.
Looks like everybody's needing cash.
I was just sitting here looking at you, Cedric. I believe you're a natural-born mercantile. How would you like to go in the store business?
Oh, I ain't got enough money to open up a store.
No, but you could buy interest in one mighty easy.
Yeah.
With $23?
Yes, sir. Me and Abner's needing a partner. Somebody with young ideas.
And eggs.
Yeah. Might even make a vice president out of you.
Oh, my, yeah, sure. Vice president in charge of sweeping out and doing the delivering.
Yeah, and straightening up the shelves.
Yeah.
Well, how much of interest would I get in the store, though?
$23.
Well, how much do I get paid back, though?
Well, that depends on how much profit the store makes.
No, Mom, I don't believe I'd be interested. Better keep it in cash. That's the way Clarabelle wants it.
We could take that $23 and buy a lot of stuff we're needing.
If you're afraid of not getting your money back, Cedric, we could make you safe on your invest, all right.
Well, I'd have to know I could get it any time I wanted, I believe.
Let's see how we could do that.
Yeah, we'll guarantee it, Cedric.
I'll tell you what. We'll give you a $23 interest in the store and a $50 due bill.
Well, what's that?
Well, that means you can come in here and take $50 worth of groceries out of the store anytime you think the loan ain't good.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need no groceries, though.
No, but you could always sell that $50 due bill for something. Other folks that do need groceries, they'll buy it from you.
Why, sure they will.
Oh, what, sir? It's a deal. Just make me out a due bill. Got the cash money right here.
Aye, Granny, that's the way to talk, Cedric.
Yes, sir.
Let me get a pencil and paper here.
Yeah. Get it on. Fix it up. Now, how about the eggs, Cedric? You ought to sell them to us on a credit now. You're a partner here in the store. You surely trust yourself.
Yes, Mom, all right, too, aren't I?
Why, sure. Make a deal with yourself there.
Just a minute. Get busy here.
Recollect now, the cheaper you buy them for the store here, why, the more money you'll make for yourself.
Yes, Mom, I know. I'm coping to myself.
Oh, excuse me for interrupting you.
I was aiming on getting 32 cents a dozen, but I believe I'll sell them to me for a quarter. And there's 4 dozen of them.
Well, that's the time. You're a good trader. I can see that already, Cedric. Beating yourself down on the price so quick that way. Just leave them sitting there. We'll sell them.
Yeah, Cedric. Due bill good for $50 in trade at the Jot 'em Down store. Signed Lum Edwards. That's just as good as gold.
All right, there's your money.
Well,
$23, and it's all there, too. And I've got to go.
Well, you're going to work, too, in the store, ain't you, Cedric?
Yes, Mom, but I ain't starting till tomorrow morning.
Oh.
That's all right, Cedric. See you in the morning.
Yeah. Doggy, that was a good deal, though.
Yeah. I hope we never taken no advantage of him. I wouldn't cheat him for nothing.
Well, I reckon he went over to tell Clarabelle that he's a vice president now.
Yeah, well, he made a good deal. He can't lose nothing.
No.
Anytime he gets nervous about his invest, he can take that $50 worth of merchandise out of the store and sell it for enough to get his $23 back, you know.
Why, sure. And this will give us a chance to buy some of the stuff we're needing, too. Potatoes and flour and one thing and another.
Yeah, I'll go into the wholesale house first thing in the morning and get a little of everything we need.
Yeah, that's the thing to do. Yeah.
Granny, I'm a good mind to call up some of our old customers and tell them we're going to have a complete stock of merchandise now, and we'd like to have them start trading with us again.
Well, instead of getting them old customers back, what we need to do is to get some new ones, Lum. We've had 3 old customers back already. All 3 of them brung in stuff they bought from us before we closed up a year ago. Wanted their money back on it.
Yeah, the widow Abernathy standing there on the front porch whenever I come down to open up this morning. Had a sack of flour she bought over a year ago. Claimed it never made good biscuits and wanted me to take it back.
Huh. Where's it at?
Sitting right there.
My goodness.
I never give her the money back. I traded her some canned goods for it. She couldn't make biscuits with the best flour in the world.
Well, wait, that ain't our flour, Lum. We never carried that brand in our life. Dick Huddleston sells that, Lum.
Granny, that's right. What do you know about that? That's a good one on her. Carrying that stuff back to the wrong store. Wait a minute here.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
Well, looks to me like she skimmed you out of some groceries, Lum.
Them's the things we got to stop in this store. Small leaks sink great ships.
Leaks?
That's where our profits is going. First thing you know, our ship will be sunk.
What in the world are you talking about?
The store here.
The store's a boat?
In a way.
For goodness sakes, if it was, it couldn't sink sitting up here on dry ground no way, Lum.
I mean, there's leaks in the store, and we've got to watch them or we're goners.
Oh, yeah. Ain't but one, though. Back there in the feed room, we always set a tub under it when it's raining.
Well, there's leaks in this store when it ain't raining, too.
You mean to sit there and say there's water coming through the roof right now?
Not water, profits I'm talking about. Money.
Money coming through the roof and you're complaining?
No, it's going out.
Oh, well, we better set the tub up on top of the roof then, Lum.
Abner, for goodness sakes, all I
wait a minute, Lum. That's all the rain sure the world.
Well, good. Saved by the bell. I'll answer it.
I weren't going to answer it. Wouldn't waste my time on a telephone if it's raining money around here.
Hello, jot 'em down, store. I'm Edward's doing the talking.
Get up there on the roof. That's where I'm going.
Oh, how you, Miss Bates?
Stand there and reach out. Grab a
yes, Ma.
$10
Just opened up yesterday.
Get a whole tub full of money.
You want to do what?
No.
Yes, Mom. Get a pencil and paper, Abner, and take down this order.
Oh.
Miss Bates wanting to buy $50 worth of groceries.
Well, good for her. Good for us.
What's that? You've got a what? Oh. Why, just a minute. Now we're into it.
Huh?
You know what that Cedric done?
I got a pretty good idea.
Taken that $50 due bill over and sold it to Miss Bates for $35. Now she wants the groceries.
Well, I'll be dead blamed. $50 worth of groceries for $23. If that don't beat the bugs a fighting.
Well, Lum and Abner have a pretty big job ahead of them in building up the Jot 'em Down store again. I wonder how many of you folks who are listening to Lum and Abner tonight have had a busy day today. Well, you know what to do when you feel tired out, headachy, and a little upset at the end of any day? That's the time to take a sparkling glass of Alka-Seltzer and see how much better it makes you feel. Listen, Dad, don't you occasionally come home from work feeling physically fagged out and sometimes short-tempered? And you, Mother, when you've had a hard day at home with all the housework, or when the children have been unusually trying, don't you feel tired out, headachy, and pretty much out of sorts? Well, why continue to feel all in and upset when Alka-Seltzer can bring such prompt, pleasant relief? Just try it and see how it helps. When you drink a sparkling glass of Alka-Seltzer, it offers you the relief you want for tired, aching muscles and that dull headache. It also gives you the alkalizer you need to settle that upset stomach due to acid indigestion. Now, what's more, the alkalizer in Alka-Seltzer actually helps speed recovery from the fatigue itself. So be wise, won't you? The next time you feel fagged out and upset, drink a refreshing glass of Alka-Seltzer. You'll feel better fast.
Yes, sir. You just try it and see. Get a package of those analgesic alkalizing tablets from your druggist tonight or tomorrow, sure. And now, we take you to Pine Ridge. Well, when we left our old friends down in Pine Ridge Tuesday, Lum and Abner had just closed a deal with Cedric Weehunt, selling him an interest in the Jotham Down store for $23. The money to be used in buying new merchandise. As we look in on the little community today, Lum is out trying to collect some of their past due accounts, and we find Cedric over at the store talking with Abner. Listen.
All I know is you're supposed to give me a $23 interest in the store here and a due bill for $50.
I've told you 1,000 times, Cedric, you sold that due bill for $35 and that paid you back.
And I'm supposed to be a vice president, too.
Well, you would have been if you hadn't sold your due bill. We had to put out $50 worth of groceries just for that $23 we got from you. You made $12 on the deal.
Yeah, but Liz Bates paid me that. You fellas never.
Well, talk to Lum about it. I explained it every way. Oh, my goodness. Who's that Squire Skimp's carrying in here?
Must have been an accident, son.
Run, get a bucket of water quick, Cedric. Well, what's the matter, Squire? What happened?
Not a thing, Abner. Now, don't get excited.
Did the fella faint? Bring him right on back here and stretch him out on the counter.
Well, there's nothing wrong, Abner. This is just a clothes dummy that I brought over to sell you.
Who, Mr. Squire?
Yeah, wait a minute. Let me set him up here. It's a clothes dummy to display clothes on.
Oh, swan to goodness. Looked like a sure enough human you was carrying in here.
Well, it is an exceptionally fine piece of work. I bought it out of a bankrupt stock of merchandise at the county seat a while back.
Well, I do know. What do you take for it?
Oh, I don't know, Abner. Well, I haven't got any use for it particularly. It would be just like parting with one of the family to sell it.
Oh, I see. His eyes and mustache just painted on there, ain't they?
Favor somebody that I know, but I can't think who.
Well, tell you what I'll do, Abner. I'll make you a price of $15 on him.
Well, we ain't got the money, Squire. I don't believe we can afford him. He has got a friendly face, though. I wish I could think who it is he puts me in mind of.
He's a dressed-up sort of fella, I'll say that for him.
Oh, yes, a suit alone is worth what I'm asking for him. It'd be nice to display merchandise on here, Abner.
Oh, for good gracious.
I know who it is. A spitting image of him, too. Mr. Dilbeck, that's who he is.
Mr. Dilbeck?
Yeah, you never did know him, Cedric. He was a cashier in there at the bank at the county seat. I just thought the world and all of him. Awful fine man. I'd doggies if I had the money, I'd buy him, Squire. Be just like having Mr. Dilbeck around. He never did have much to say neither.
I thought you sold Cedric an interest in the store here the other day for some cash, Abner.
Oh, well, Lum's done spent that. He went in the county seat yesterday. Instead of buying potatoes and flour and stuff we was needing, spent the whole $23 for carrots and lettuce, just because he could get a good price on it.
Why, everybody's got their own vegetables this time of the year, Abner.
Why, sure they have. Stuff will sit right here and spoil. I'd rather have Mr. Dilbeck and all that green stuff.
Well, I'd like to sell him to you, Abner.
Oh, I'd love to have him the worst way. I can see him standing in that bank window just as plain. Just like this feller. His expression never changed. Try to borrow money, he'd just shake his head no. Never batted eye.
This is what I'll do, Abner. Mrs. Skimp is very anxious that I dispose of him. In fact, I have strict orders not to bring him home with me.
What's wrong with him?
Oh, it's nothing against him personally. Well, that is, see, we have no place to keep him except in the parlor. And he's eternally scaring Miss Skimp to death.
Well, what does he do, Mr. Squire?
Well, naturally, she walks into the room not expecting anybody to be there, and catches a glimpse of him and faints before she has time to reason out who it is. The whole thing came to a head this morning when she dropped the whole bowl of goldfish. She gave me orders to get him out and keep him out.
He went too far, huh?
Now, for that reason, I'm willing to make a sacrifice. Tell you what I'll do. I'll take $10 in trade here in the store for him, Abner.
$10. Doggies, I hate to try to beat the price down on as fine a land as Mr. Dilbeck, but that's just more than we can afford, Squire. I'll give you $5 in trade for him. That's the best I can do.
You're a hard trader, Abner. But I'm going to take it. It's a deal.
All right, sir. Just put her right there.
In fact, before I came back down that main street and take all the slurring remarks that I had to on the way over here, I'd give him away.
Slurring remarks?
Yes, everybody trying to josh me. That nose moose stepped out of the barber shop with that comb in his hair and that razor in his hand and wanted to know where I was going to bury the body.
Down for that mole.
And Grandpappy Spears hollered at me as I passed by there and wanted to know if he could have the next waltz with me. That old Grandpap can dance, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm just glad to get him. He'll be a lot of company here in the store. You want to take the groceries with you now, Squire?
No, I guess it'd be better if I got any skins to make out a list of stuff she's needing, Abner. Tell you, I'll run over there right now and then be back after a little.
All right, Squire, and much obliged for the deal.
Not at all, Abner, not at all. If you hadn't traded for him, I was going to throw him in the mill pond. Well, I'll see you later.
All right. Mill pond. I'm proud I got you, Mr. Dilbeck. I saved your life. That's what I done.
That's the prettiest suit of clothes he's got on I ever seen.
Yeah, would be if it weren't so sun-faded, and if you like checks. I believe I'll just take that home with me tonight and get Lizabeth to iron it good for me. He always looks so nice there in the bank. I just can't stand to see him looking so shabby. I'll put some overalls on him so he won't get cold here tonight. That's what I'll do.
Wait a minute, there comes Mr. Lum.
Huh?
I'll find out about that vice president business. Howdy, Mr. Lum.
Oh, come in, Lum.
Morning.
Lum, I want you to meet Mr. Dilbeck.
No. How do you do, Mr. What is that?
Don't you know him? You recollect Mr. Dilbeck that worked there in the bank at the county seat?
Where did this thing come from?
Mr.
Abner bought it from Mr. Squire.
Bought it?
Well, I traded him $5 worth of groceries for it, Lum.
Oh, swan to goodness, Abner. You ought to have a guardine. What do we need with a clothes dummy?
Why did display clothes on and suits and overalls such as that? Looks more like an up-to-date store with him standing around here, banking feller.
Oh, I'll be dead blamed. Here I've been out all morning trying to collect money, and you sitting around the store here doing your best to spend it.
I just give $5 for him, Lum.
Well, if we don't get some money collected in here, we may as well just close them front doors. Plenty of folks around here owing it.
Wait a minute. There goes Ezra Thief trunk across the street there, Lum. He's owing us some money. Have you saw him here?
No. I was over at his place and he weren't there. Now, there is a fellow that ought to pay, too. Owes us $54.
All right, doggies, let me run out there and catch him. I'll collect it or mop up that street with him. $54, you say, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, Ezra, just a minute.
Oh, then if he collects that, I'll take my hat off to him. Oh, so this store's in bad financial shape, Cedric.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about, Mr. Lum. What about that $23 I give you?
Are you on that again, Cedric? I told you we don't owe you no $23.
Well, that's what I give you anyway.
Yeah, you had a $23 interest in the store, and we give you a due bill for $50, so in case you got nervous about your invest, you could sell it and get your money back. And you sold it to Miss Bates for $35.
Yeah, but you fellas never give me no money.
Miss Bates did. Give you $35.
Well, I'm going to tell my pa about it and see what he says.
Now, don't do that, Cedric. You know how high-strung he is. He'll think we'll beat you out of some money and he'll come over here and start a fight with us. Him working around them horses, shoeing them all, and we ain't fit to fighting. I'd rather just give you interest in the store rather than have any hard feelings.
Well, that's better. Am I still a vice president, too?
I reckon so. I don't care what you are. I know if all of us start trying to live out of this store here, we'll be bankrupted in a week's time. And turn that dummy around. Standing there staring at me to where I don't know what I'm saying, hardly. Those are the wildest looking eyes I ever seen. And they won't stop looking at you. Staring at me to where I'm feared to raise my eyes.
Mr. Abner seems to think the world and all of him.
Yeah, he ought to have better sense than to trade for him. As long as he's done it, I reckon it's all right. He's always got to have a pet of some kind around here. That's better than having a cat or something we'd have to feed. Hard up his way here. There he is, back already. Granny's, he must have collected it the way he's running. Did you collect the bill?
I told you I'd get it, Lum, that blaming.
Well, good for you. Granny, that's nice work, Abner. With $54, we can get a lot of the stuff we're needing.
Yeah, well, he never had the cash money to give me, Lum. But I got the best of the deal.
Well, good.
We're getting 10 pairs of rabbits and a mule.
I'll be dead blamed. 10 pairs of rabbits and a mule.
Yeah. How's that for swapping, Mr. Dilbeck?
Hundreds of you listeners have written in to tell us how pleased you are that Alka-Seltzer has brought Lum and Abner back on the air again. With their funny arguments and homespun humor, they always seem to help us forget our cares and make us feel better, don't they? Yes, and when you stop to think about it, Lum and Abner and Alka-Seltzer are very much alike. They're both friendly. They both help you get relief from some of your troubles. And they're both dependable. If you happen to be a Lum and Abner fan who's never experienced the amazing relief that Alka-Seltzer offers for headaches, for acid indigestion, minor stomach upsets, for muscular aches and pains, and in cold distress, may we suggest that you do not put off trying it any longer, for you will find Alka-Seltzer a most pleasant and effective remedy for these common ailments. And so when you hear Lum and Abner on the air, we hope you'll remember that Alka-Seltzer is a good friend to have in your home, too, because it offers you and your family pleasant relief for so many unpleasant ailments. Be wise. Be prepared to get quick relief from these common ailments. Just phone or ask your druggist for a package of Alka-Seltzer tablets tonight or tomorrow, sure. Never be without it in your home. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Cedric Weehunt has been so consistently successful in his recent business ventures that Lum and Abner have decided he must be a business genius and have made him manager of the store. They're hoping that he might produce some ideas that'll increase their business. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner and Cedric down at the Jot 'em Down store. Listen.
There you go, Cedric, right in behind that sack of beans there. Get him.
Oh, there's one over there back of you now, Mr. Abner.
Huh? Oh, I doggies, I could have catched him if I'd knowed he's there in time.
I bet you if I'd have had that hound of mine down there, he'd have catched him.
Yeah, we've got 'em all but two now, thanks, Cedric. Here now, you get one side of that sack and I'll get on the other now. We'll slip up on him.
Yes, Mom. There he is, just sitting there.
Yeah, well, grab him. Grab him. That's the time.
I got him.
Yeah. Pick him up by the ear, Cedric. That won't hurt him. Yeah, that's it. Now, just set him down in the crate there now. That's it. That's the way, Cedric. Right there.
What's this front door doing closed that way?
Oh, morning. Close it quick, Lum. The rabbits is loose.
Well, here. I'll just leave it open. Maybe we can get shut of them.
Well, we've catched 'em all but two now.
Somebody was to come down here to buy something, they'd see that door closed and go on by.
Well, I opened up this morning. They's all over the store, and I just figured I better leave it closed till I catched 'em.
You ain't been chasing rabbits, have you, Cedric?
Yes, Mom. Just here in the store, though.
I told you to take it easy around here. All you're supposed to do is just sit and think.
Well, I get tired just sitting that way, Mr. Lum.
Yeah, but we made you business manager to think up ideas on how we can increase our business. You can't concentrate chasing them rabbits.
Sit down, Cedric.
How come the rabbits to get out in the first place?
I don't know. They just pushed one of them slats off of one of the crates. Too many of 'em in there, I reckon. Was 36 in them crates, and now there's 58.
58? Aye, Granny, this has gone far enough. It's got to stop, Abner. Do you hear me?
Well, don't be bawling me out. Tell them.
First thing you know, there ain't going to be room for us to get in the store here. Have to just turn it over to them rabbits.
Oh, Why, they couldn't run this store, Lum.
No, but we've got to get 'em out of here. It ain't healthy having rabbits living right in here with us.
Oh, I don't think that'll hurt 'em. They're feeling awful frisky. You ought to just try to run one of 'em down.
I ain't got time to be chasing rabbits, and you ain't neither. I've been working on this idea Cedric give us for having a cash drawing here in the store, and I believe I got it figured out for him.
Well, good.
See what you think of this, Cedric.
Mom?
Oh, excuse me. I never interrupt you, did I? You wasn't having another idea, was you?
Oh, no, Mom.
Seen you staring off into space there. What was you thinking about?
Oh, I don't think I was thinking of nothing.
Well, what I started to say, instead of having a drawing every Saturday, why not put a bunch of numbers in a tub or a churn or something and have some lucky numbers in there?
Lucky numbers?
Yeah, and then when the customer buys something, they can reach in there and try to pick out a lucky number.
Yeah. That's better than having a drawing just once a week.
Well, you see, I got a list of the lucky numbers all made out.
You have, huh?
Yeah, right here on this card. We can set the card right there in front of the showcase.
Yeah.
And pay 'em off right then when they draw, if they're lucky.
Sure.
See here, I got 300 numbers, and just 5 lucky ones, 5 prizes.
Well, I do know. Well, you have been working, ain't you?
Yeah, something like this always interests me. See here, first prize, number 7.
Number 7.
Yeah, whoever draws number 7 gets $15 in trade here in the store.
Well, number 7, first prize.
That's the big prize.
Mm-hmm.
Then number 84 wins second prize.
Well,
That's $5 in trade. Number 111 wins $2.50. And number 222 wins $1.50, and number 300 wins $1. $25 in prizes we're giving away.
$25?
Well, of course, they'll have to trade it out in the store here.
Yeah, sure. Hi, doggy, that sounds good, Lum.
What do you think of that, Cedric?
Mom?
Do you think that's a good idea? Is that the way you do it?
Yes, Mom, I reckon so.
Well, good.
Yes, sir,
Glad you like
Cedric.
it.
I believe you got a good idea there.
Well, I made out the numbers here and put them on these little tickets. Got them in this box here.
Yeah, well, I believe you'll need something bigger than that, Lum.
Oh, yeah, I just carried them over here in that.
Yeah, oh. Well, when are we going to start the drawing?
Why, right now, if Cedric thinks it's all right.
And everybody that buys something here in the store, why, just give them one free draw, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
I believe I'll go out there and sit on the front steps. I think I can think better out there.
Yeah, go right ahead, Cedric.
well, now, we got to catch them other 2 rabbits, Cedric. They're still hiding around here somewhere.
Well, Mr. Lum says I can't think and chase rabbits both, though.
No, you go ahead, Cedric.
Lum, you're just spoiling that boy.
Well, he can't be thinking up ideas and chasing around the store here.
Well, if you want my opinions, I believe we're wrong about him being a genius anyway, Lum.
Wrong. Why?
Why, he ain't trying to think up ideas. You seen him sitting there all this time and never thought of a thing.
Well, you can't expect him to have one idea right on top of another. He thought about this drawing here in the store, and it's a good one, too. We're going to do a lot of business with that.
Well, I don't think he had much to do with thinking that up, Lum. He just sat here and said yes to everything we said. Just like this morning. You come down here with the idea on how to run the drawing. Weren't him.
That's right, ain't it?
Why, sure. I believe if he'd been a genius, we'd have found it out long before this, Lum.
Yeah, it does look like it, don't it?
Of course it does.
Yeah, this is my idea, this drawing.
Why,
He's trying to claim credits for it.
Sure.
My grannies, if there's any geniuses around here, it's me and you.
Well, all he's doing is just getting out of work.
That's all.
Now, if he's got any ideas, why, sweeping out and helping around this store ain't going to jar him out of his head.
No, maybe we've overdid this genius business. Who's that he's talking to out there?
Huh? Oh, Squire Skim.
Yeah. Well, I'll just tell Cedric to stop trying to think of anything. I'll do the thinking around here from now on.
I'll get him in here directly and make him catch them rabbits and get this store cleaned up. Why, that dummy, Mr. Dilbeck, can do as much thinking as he does.
Yeah, that's something else we don't need around here is that dummy.
Well, he don't get in the way and don't cost us nothing. He don't eat or nothing, just stands there. That's all he does, Lum. I'll love to have him around. He's company for me.
Yeah, but I don't like the way he stares at you. I keep telling you that.
Well, I'll turn his head the other way if it's going to bother you.
Wait a minute, here comes Squire.
Oh.
Maybe we can get him to take a chance with our drawing.
Yeah. Yeah, come in, Squire.
Morning, Squire.
Well, gentlemen,
Say, what's the matter with Cedric?
Nothing, I don't reckon.
I tried to talk to him out there just now, and he wouldn't talk. Said he was thinking.
Oh, well, don't pay no attention to him, Squire.
Tell Squire about our drawing, Lum.
Oh, yeah.
What's that, Lum?
Why, we're just starting a drawing down here, Squire, to sort of stimulate business.
Well.
See, I've got all these numbers here, and every time somebody buys an article here in the store, they get a free draw.
Mm-hmm.
There's a list of the prizes right there.
Well.
Number 7 wins $15 in trade, if you're lucky enough to win a number, you know.
Of course.
And 84 wins $5. And, well, and then there's another one wins $2.50, and $1.50, and $1. 5 prizes altogether.
Well, that looks all right, too. Well, so I tell you, I'm needing some smoking tobacco. I believe I'll just try that.
Well, good for you.
I think I've got a dime here someplace. Yes, get me a can of tobacco there, Abner.
Well, here, we got to put these numbers in something so as you can draw.
Yes.
Get me one of them hats out of the showcases you go by, Abner.
Yeah, sure.
Well, this is a good idea you've got here, Lum. You ought to advertise it, too. Let the good people of the town know what you're doing.
Oh, yeah, we aim to do that. I'm going to make an announcement about it on the party line.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Appreciate you telling everybody you see.
Be glad to.
Thank you, Abner.
Yeah, sure. Here's your tobacco, Squire.
Yes, thank you.
Got to stir 'em up good here.
Yeah, stir 'em up good, Lum. That's your time.
All right, there you are, Squire. You're the first one to draw. I hope you get a winner.
Well,
Don't look now.
Oh, no. Did you say number 7 wins a big prize?
Yeah. Number 84 wins $5, though.
What'd you get, Squire?
Well, let's see here. Now, what do you know about that? Look at there.
Huh?
Number 7.
Let's see it, Squire. Hi, doggy, that's what he's got, Lum. Number 7.
Number 7 on the first draw? Well, I'll be dead. Well, you get $15 worth of merchandise.
Well, that good wife will be down to trade it out, gentlemen. I believe I'll just go over there now and tell her to make out a list and come down and get it. And thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
That blame it all. Hate that feller to pieces. Come in here and draw the lucky number the first thing.
Yeah, it's Cedric. If he can't think of some of the worst ideas of anybody I ever seen in my life.
Oh, my.
If we listen to him, he'll have us broke. We ought to have more sense than to listen to him in the first place. That blamed ignoramus. Genius. Who does he think he is calling himself that?
Dad, blame him. I'm going to get him in here along, make him wash them windows and sweep this floor. I'll work him to death.
Wait a minute. Is this that number Squire drawed laying there?
Let's see. Yeah, that's it.
Well, this ain't right.
That's number 7.
Yeah, but this number's printed on here. Them I put in there was writ with a pencil.
Huh?
Wait a minute. Let me see that hat there.
Yeah.
Why, that ornery, low-down varmint. You know what he done? He taken the size tag out of that hat.
Size tag?
That's a number 7 hat. That's where he got that ticket. Tore it right out of the hat.
$15 worth of merchandise. Hi, doggies, this must be just one of them days.
Well. That's something, isn't it? Well, I know that you folks are all mighty glad out there to have Lum and Abner back on the job again, bringing you their programs from down in Pine Ridge. And you know, being on the job these days is mighty important to all of us. That's why it's a downright shame that hundreds of men and women went to work this morning suffering with a miserable headache. Did you? Or did you remember what we've said about how quickly and pleasantly Alka-Seltzer offers real relief for this common joy killer? Well, you should take Alka-Seltzer whenever a headache threatens to slow you down. And here's why. Now, the analgesic pain reliever, which it contains, is in a different, highly effective form. Because it is in complete solution when you take it, it's ready to go to work without the usual delay. to give you the kind of comforting relief you want. What's more, when your headache's accompanied by acid indigestion, as is often the case, when you eat or drink or smoke too much, Alka-Seltzer offers quick relief for this discomfort, too, by neutralizing excess gastric acidity. So be wise, friends. Why let a headache or acid indigestion make you feel mean and miserable when Alka-Seltzer offers such prompt, pleasant relief? Next time, ask your druggist for Alka-Seltzer. He has it by the package and also serves it by the glass at the soda fountain. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Cedric Weehunt had a very brief career as business manager of the Jot 'em Down store. After a few profitable deals in his own behalf, Lum and Abner believed the boy to be a business genius. And the first idea Cedric offered in that capacity resulted in a $15 loss to the store. As a consequence, we find the young fellow back at his old job, sweeping out and running errands. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Abner down at the store discussing the matter.
Well, I wouldn't work Cedric too hard now, Lum.
Well, he's got to make up for the work he ought to been doing when we thought he was a business genius.
Yeah, we might not spoiled him there for a few days.
No, the only idea you give us for improving our business weren't no good.
No.
Cost us $15 worth of merchandise to try it out.
Yeah, no, that idea weren't no count at all. No.
When you get done straightening up them shelves, Cedric, I want you to clean up the feed room back there.
Yes, Mom.
Yeah, be careful with them rabbits back there now, Cedric. Don't let 'em out.
No, Mom, I won't.
Abner, what are we going to do with them rabbits?
I don't know, Lum.
I don't like to keep complaining about them, but on the other hand, I hate to just sit here and see them things eat us right out of business.
Yeah, well, I think I know where I can make a deal to feed 'em for a while, Lum. I just heard yesterday that Bernie Miller's moving, so I'm going over and see if I can't buy that whole garden of his from him. He's got carrots and lettuce and everything else in it.
Yeah, but you're going to have to pay him for it. And when that's add up, we'll have to buy something else. And the worst part of it is they keep increasing all the time.
Yeah.
How many of them is there back there now?
Well, there was 114 back there when I opened up this morning. I ain't counted them since.
For goodness sakes, 114. Well, we just got to do something about it. That's all there are to it.
I know it, Mom.
Reckon Ezra Seastrunk would take them rabbits back.
I don't know. I don't much believe he would, Lum. He acted like he's too glad to get shut of them.
Yeah, that's just what I was feared of. What do the folks do with rabbits that's got them? You're always hearing about folks that's got rabbits. What happens to them?
I don't know. This is the first experience I ever had with them.
Well, what does Ezra do with his?
Why? Swaps them to folks that he's on, I reckon, like he done us.
Granny's, wait a minute. Wonder if that wholesale house in there at the county seat... No, they wouldn't take rabbits in on a debt, I know. Granny's.
I reckon I done wrong trading for them.
And you ain't going to get in no argument out of me on that. Of all the deals you ever made, them rabbits was the worst. The rabbits and that clothes dummy you bought from Squire Skimp.
Mr. Dilbeck? Well, he ain't increasing none.
No, but we ain't got no use for him. Stands there and stares at me and makes me so uncomfort I can't enjoy being at the store no more. I told you to keep him turned around looking the other direction.
Well, I had him turned around the other way, Lum, but the sun was right in his eyes, so I turned him back.
Well, what difference did that make?
Well, how would you like to stand there and stare right into the sun all morning?
For goodness sakes.
Of course, I reckon I could put one of them sunbonnets there on him.
Abner, I wish you'd quit treating that dummy like as if he was a person.
Well, he does seem like it to me, mightn't I? Of course, he can't talk, but he's company for me when I'm in the store here by myself. I can talk to him.
I know that must be an intelligent conversation, talking to somebody that can't answer you back.
Well, that's what I like about him. You get to say what I'm thinking without being interrupted.
I don't interrupt you.
Well, no, but Lizabeth does. I tell you, Lum, that woman of mine has got to where she just nags the everlasting daylights out of me.
Nags you?
Yeah, I can't do nothing right no more. Over there at choir practice the other night. Just 'cause me and the widow Abernathy was singing out of the same hymnal book, she got so mad she couldn't hardly see.
Well, I do not.
Had her back up over it for 3 or 4 days. Jealousest-hearted woman I ever seen in my life.
Then you ought to be careful not to do nothing to aggravate her.
I don't. I daresn't look at nobody else. Her ma before, though, was the same way. Jealous. She led old man Grump a dog's life.
She did, huh?
Oh, yeah. They just get too crazy about their men folks. That's their trouble. Old Lady Grump, she just thought the world and all of Lizabeth's paw, but she was always giving him a whooping.
Granny, couldn't he protect himself?
Oh, I reckon he could have held his own in a fair fist, bare knuckle fight. But she'd pick up anything she could find that weren't nailed down and hit him with it. I seen her out in the front yard one Sunday afternoon, just might nigh strip a picket fence whooping him with them palings. Run him clean up under the house with the dogs.
Well, I do know. She must have been a goer.
Oh, she was. Wouldn't weigh 90 pounds, soaking wet.
Well, I do know.
And then brushed off her hands and come up and sat down on the porch and poured herself a glass of lemonade. Sat there and lemonaded herself and just dared him to come out from under there. Double dog dared him.
Well, you never have had no fights with Lizabeth, though.
No, but it ain't her fault. I just know better than to talk back. And if old man Grump had used his head that way, instead of having them fence palings broke over, he'd been a heap better off, too.
Looks like he'd have learnt better eventually.
Yeah, it does.
Like you're trading. Looks like you'd learn better, too.
Oh, wait a minute. I might not forgot. Which color do you think would look best, Lum?
Color? For what?
A sunbonnet for Mr. Dilbeck there.
Oh, you ain't going to sure enough put a sunbonnet on him.
Why, sure I am. I'll try this blue one here. Yeah. Well, now, looky there. Just matches his eyes.
Well, pull it down over his eyes so I can't even see him.
Oh, yeah. Hold still, Mr. Dilbeck. This'll keep that glare out of your eyes. Yeah.
It don't look right, a man with a sunbonnet on.
Hey, doggy, that gives me a idea.
What are you fixing to do?
I'm going to put one of these gingham dresses on him here.
For goodness sakes. What about them breeches legs hanging down there?
Oh, this dress will hang clean down to the floor. See, now, let's get that over there. Yeah.
What about his mustache?
Hey, doggy. Yeah, I'll just put a court plaster over that. I'll get this dress buttoned up here. Doggy, Mr. Dilbeck, I never would have knowed you. Or Ms. Dilbeck, I reckon I ought to call you now.
Granny, if you ain't a case, Abner. A case if ever I seen one. Worse than some young'un playing with a doll.
Well, this'll help us sell some of them gingham dresses before they go out of style.
Yeah, you're too late. They've done went out of style.
Well, they see Mrs. Dilbeck wearing them, why maybe they'll come back in.
Anyway, you got his eyes covered up. That's all I'm bothered about.
Hey, doggy, she's a pretty good looker, ain't she, Lum?
Well, I've saw better.
How about having the next waltz with you, Miss Dilbeck?
Silly idiot.
We make a pretty good-looking couple, don't we?
Somebody sees you stand there with your arms around that dummy, they'll think you've lost your reasoning.
Yeah, we don't care, do we, Miss Dilbeck? It's a case of love at first sight. Fly away with me and you'll wear diamonds, honey.
For goodness sake, kissing that dummy. Sister Simpson's standing outside there watching you. Better be careful.
Oh, we don't care, do we, Miss Dilbeck? Let her watch. I got to find something to put over that mustache hole.
Wait a minute, we'll have some fun out of Cedric. See if he knows him.
Oh, yeah. Come here, Cedric. I want you to meet my lady friend.
Mom?
Mr. Wee Hunt, like for you to shake hands with Miss Dilbeck.
Oh, pleased to make your acquaintance. Oh, swan to goodness. That's Mr. Dilbeck with a dress on, ain't it?
Yeah. Don't he look nice?
Looks just like a woman standing there.
Well, that's what he's supposed to look like.
Oh.
Did you get the feed room cleaned up back there, Cedric?
Yes, Mom, but them rabbits is a nuisance, Mr. Lum. Turn over them pans of water fast as I can put them in there.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out some way to get shut of them.
Well, I've been thinking up a way, and you could help your business here in the store, too.
We don't want to hear it.
No, we're just now getting over that last idea you give us, that drawing.
This is sort of like that, too. Give away a free rabbit every time somebody buys $1 worth of stuff out of the store here. But I don't reckon that idea's any good either.
No.
Wait a minute, Abner. Granny, that might be all right. Won't hurt us to try it. Might stimulate business and help us get rid of the rabbits at the same time.
My doggies, I hadn't thought about that. No.
Cedric, maybe we was too hasty in our judgment. You may be a genius after all.
Well, good for me.
That's our ring, I think, Abner.
Yeah, I'll get it. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. Oh, hello, honey. Yes, Ma. Who said that? Sister Simpson. Oh, well, that was just Miss Dilbeck. Well, yeah, but I know, but honey, if you'll just give me a chance to... Yes, honey. Yes, Lizabeth. Well, see, I just put that dress on her and...
Uh-oh, he oughtn't have said that.
Hello? Hello? Oh, my goodness, now I'm into it. Sister Simpson went and told Lizabeth that she seen me kissing a woman here in the store a while ago, Lum. Oh, my goodness.
Well, I guess Lum and Abner are a lot like you and I. They have their ups and downs, don't they? You know, folks, I have an idea that some of the folks down in Pine Ridge are having the same trouble these days as a good many of us, trying to balance the family budget. And if that's the case with you, just listen to this. Did it ever occur to you that Alka-Seltzer can be one of the most helpful, economical household items you can buy? That's right. And here's why you'll find Alka-Seltzer so economical to use. Now, you wouldn't think of being without a headache remedy handy, would you? And you usually keep something on hand for that acid indigestion Dad has every now and then. 2, you know it's wise to be prepared for quick relief in cold distress and muscular aches and pains and fatigue. Well, listen, by keeping just one package of Alka-Seltzer tablets handy, you can be prepared for all of these discomforts. Yes, Alka-Seltzer actually offers quick, pleasant relief in all of these common ailments. Now, think what a saving that can mean. So we say no thrifty home can afford to be without a package of Alka-Seltzer tablets in the medicine cabinet. Get one from your druggist tonight or tomorrow, sure. And remember, the large-size package is far more economical. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Little did Abner realize the trouble he was letting himself in for yesterday when he dressed the dummy up in women's clothes. Sister Simpson passed the store and saw him with his arms around the dummy and immediately reported to his wife Lizabeth that her husband was carrying on with another woman. As we look in on the little community today, we find Cedric and Abner down at the store. Listen.
I ought to take that dress off of Mr. Dilbeck before it causes me any more trouble. Ought to had more sense than to put it on him in the first place.
Well, I think he looks just like a woman, standing there with that sunbonnet on.
Well, that's the trouble, Cedric. Looks too much like one. Might and I broke up my home is what he's done.
Miss Peabody's still mad about it, huh?
Mad? I had to sleep in the barn last night. Dad blame that Sister Simpson. She's the one that caused the whole thing. See, when I put this dress on a dummy yesterday afternoon, why, I got to cutting up around here and put my arms around it and acted like I was kissing it and all, just to make Lum laugh, you know.
Yes, Mom.
That Sister Simpson walked by the front of the store out there and seen me and went and called up my wife and told her that she seen me carrying on with another woman.
Well, why don't you just explain it to her what you done? Tell her it was a clothes dummy.
I tried to, Cedric. She won't listen to me. Won't give me a chance to tell her nothing.
That's a gooder knowing her, ain't it? Getting jealous of Mr. Dilbeck. Or Miss Dilbeck. I don't know what to call that dummy now with a dress and sunbonnet on and wearing a mustache.
Well, I've been calling it Miss Dilbeck since I put that dress on him.
Well, he looks more like a woman than he does a man, all right, now.
Yeah, if I could just get Lizabeth down here to see this thing, why, she'd understand.
Sure, that's the thing to do. Get her down here.
The trouble is, she won't talk to me. Well, why don't you call her up, Cedric? Just tell her how the whole thing happened. Get her down here, and we'll just prove it to her. She'll listen to you.
All right, I'll call her for you.
Yeah, well, go ahead. Just explain the whole thing to her.
See, your ring is 2 shorts and a long, ain't it?
Yeah, that's what it is. Maybe when you and Clarabelle gets married, why, I can help you out sometime.
Well, we never do have no arguments, though.
Well, you ain't married yet, neither.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Well, don't just keep saying hello, Cedric.
Well, that's all she's saying. Hello?
Well, tell her who you are.
Oh, this is Cedric Weehunt. Yes, Mom. Oh, tolerably well, I reckon. How's yourself? Well, I do know. Yes, Mom.
Tell her about me and Miss Dilbeck, Cedric.
Oh, well, what I called you up about, you oughtn't to be mad at Mr. Abner, Miss Peabody. That was just Miss Dilbeck he had his arms around down here yesterday.
Sure.
There. Arms around her and kiss her, too.
Just what I done, yeah.
Of course, I'm sure. Yes, Mom, I'd swear it in court or any place else.
Sure.
That's why we wanted me to call you and tell you... Hello? Hello? Well, I believe she hung up the phone, Mr. Abner.
Well, I knowed she wouldn't let you explain it to her. Stubbornest one woman that ever drawed breath, I do
Yonder
know.
comes Mr. Lum.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Doggies, he's late getting down this morning. Must have been working in his garden, I reckon.
Yes, Mom. And then he gets the cow's milk and that stock fed of a morning. He's put in half a day's work.
Yeah, I don't know why he's never got married. Looks like he'd get tired of doing a woman's work that way. But on the other hand, when Lizabeth gets to acting up like she is now, doggies, I begin to think he's lucky. Come in, Lum.
Morning, Mr. Lum.
Morning. A little late this morning, Abner. I stopped by the barber shop.
Oh, that's all right. We ain't been busy. Doggies, old Mo sort of nicked you there, didn't he?
Yeah, crazy idiot gets to arguing politics and don't pay no attention to what he's doing.
Huh.
He's gonna hurt somebody down there someday bad if that bunch of loafers down there don't quit egging him on. Takes it out on the feller he's shaving.
Yeah, he run old Grandpappy Spears out of there with a razor the other day.
Yeah, I heard about that. Arguing about the war.
Yeah.
They call it the Battle of Moe's Moots Barber Shop now.
I don't know why them fellers goes down there to argue. I get all the arguing I want at home. Lizabeth's still mad about me and Miss Dilbeck down here yesterday, Lum.
She is, huh?
Oh, my, yeah.
I wished you'd quit calling that dummy Miss Dilbeck.
Well, I can't call him Mr. Dilbeck and him with a dress on.
Well, don't call him Dilbeck at all. Every time you say that, I think of that dad-blamed Charlie Dilbeck over there at Cherry Hill.
Charlie Dilbeck?
Oh, I know him. Lives over here on the old Medford place now.
I don't reckon I know him.
You know the feller there was so much in the paper about last summer, breaking out of jail in there at the county seat?
Breaking jail?
Yeah, tell me he just broke them iron bars out of them windows just like this tissue paper. Walked out and nobody ever offered to go after him even.
Well, I do know. What'd they have him locked up for?
Oh, that ruckus he started over there at Cherry Hill to 4th of July picnic. Got the sheriff down, tried to make him eat his own revolver.
Well, he sure had a nerve jumping on the sheriff.
Well, he's awful high-strung, they say. Sheriff tried to arrest him for whooping the Garland boys, and he got mad.
Old man Bud Garland's boys?
Yeah, whooped the whole family.
Why, there's about 8 of them boys. Ain't a one of them under 6 foot tall.
Well, it'd have been easy to measure that day. They's all laid out there on the ground.
What was the trouble twixt them?
Oh, they got in an argument 'cause he hit their mule.
Mule?
You see, that oldest boy was running the flying jinny and had a mule pulling it. And Charlie Dilbeck was standing there watching, and the mule went by and kicked him.
Well?
Next time that mule circled by, he just squared off and hit him right twixt the eyes with his bar fist. That mule dropped to the ground like he'd been hit with a sledgehammer.
For the land's sake. Well, he must be a mean one, that feller.
Oh, he killed 2 or 3 men, they say.
Yeah, well, I always think of Mr. Dilbeck in there at the bank when I see that dummy. And he was a little meek feller. He wouldn't harm nobody.
No. He was all right, but that Charlie Dilbeck, hot-headedest feller that ever lived, I reckon.
Well, that Lizabeth is a hot-headedest feller I ever seen.
Won't listen to you, huh?
No, Cedric even tried to talk to her on the phone a while ago, and she wouldn't even listen to him.
Well, I'll go there tonight and explain it all to her.
I wish you would, Lum. She'll listen to you. Her always has.
Yeah, I don't know. Got a way with women, I reckon.
You must have.
Don't worry, I'll straighten out the whole thing.
Looks like I can have more worries than every one feller that ever lived. Lizabeth's mad at me. These rabbits is costing us more to feed every day. And I don't think that idea of giving away a rabbit every time somebody buys $1 worth of merchandise is going to work out, Lum.
It ain't.
Why, no, I tried to give 5 of them to Miss Bates this morning. She bought $5 worth of merchandise, and I just insisted on her taking the rabbits, and she just canceled the whole order, walked right out of the store.
Now, Granny, that reminds me, Abner. I run across something last night. Sounded like a pretty good idea to me. Well, what did I do with that thing?
What, Lum?
If I can find it. Oh, advertisement I cut out of a farm journal I was looking at last night. Here it is, here.
Huh?
Hey, listen to this. Don't be a clock puncher.
Huh?
Don't be a wage slave. Be independent. Let our little furry friends work for you.
Well.
Make your living at home raising our pedigreed rabbits. Sells for $5 a pair. Write us at once for further details.
$5 a pair?
That's what it says here.
You know how many of them we got this morning? 142. I just counted them a while ago.
For goodness sakes. Well, that's 71 pairs of rabbits.
Yeah, at $5 a pair, how much does that figure, Lum?
Well, it'll be 5 times 71. 5 ones is 5, and 5 times 7 is 35. $355. Granny's, is that right?
$355?
Yeah, that's what it is, sure as the world.
Well, what are we complaining about?
I ain't. That's what I'm telling you. We're standing right in the middle of prosperities and never even noticed. We're going into that rabbit-raising business on a big scale now. Our troubles is over.
Well, good for us.
Our troubles is over.
Yes, sir. Did you hear that, Cedric?
Yes, Mom. I was listening to every word of it.
Had a fortune in rabbits and
Wait a
never
minute, that was
noticed.
our ring. I'll get it.
Doggy, that's the best news I've heard yet.
Hello? Jot 'em down, store. No, this is Lum Eddard's talking. Well, he's here. Do you want to talk to him?
Lizabeth calling up to apologize, I reckon.
Why, all day, I reckon.
Now she knows I'm rich off a rabbit.
You want to do what?
Rabbit king.
Who is this?
Abner,
Who?
king of the Belgian hare.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, sir, I'll tell him. Goodbye. Abner, you better get out of here.
Huh?
That was Charlie Dilbeck. Said Lizabeth called him and told him you was carrying on with Miss Dilbeck, and he thinks it's his wife. You'd better hide and stay hid to... Grannies, I hope he runs in the right direction.
Well, our old friends down in Pine Ridge always seem to sometimes have the faculty of getting into trouble and then getting out of it again, don't they?
You know, friends, when you stop to think of it, Lum and Abner and Alka-Seltzer make a perfect combination. Both of them can help you to get more enjoyment out of life. Lum and Abner's homespun wit and humor help you forget your cares and worries, and Alka-Seltzer, well, what can it do for you? Just listen. Everybody likes to have a good time, to go to parties with their friends, enjoy good food, and lots of it, and in general have just as good a time as possible. But do you ever overdo it? how easy it is to keep late hours, to eat too much, and occasionally drink and smoke more than we should. Now, whenever you forget, when you let yourself go and have too good a time, be sure to remember Alka-Seltzer. Yes, alkalize with Alka-Seltzer, and you should find, as thousands of others have, that it offers the kind of relief you want for acid indigestion, for upset stomach, distress after meals, and for morning after misery. And here's a tip to the wise. If you'd like to avoid much of the distress of the morning after, be sure to drink a glass of sparkling Alka-Seltzer the night before. Ask your druggist about Alka-Seltzer and see what he says. Then buy a package, take it home, try it, and you'll never be without Alka-Seltzer in your home again. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Abner is certainly having his troubles these days. His wife won't let him come home, and Charlie Dilbeck, the town bully, has threatened to whip him on sight. All on account of the clothes dummy he recently bought from Squire Skimp. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Cedric down at the Jot 'em Down store. Squire Skimp is just entering. Listen.
Wait a minute. Come in, Squire.
Well, good morning, good morning.
Hello, Mr. Squire.
Hello, Cedric, my boy, hello. Where's Abner?
Don't ask me. I've been trying to find him myself. He's hiding somewhere.
Hiding?
Yeah, hiding from Charlie Dilbeck. He thinks Charlie's going to give him a whooping.
Oh, yes, I heard they was having a little trouble. Something about Mrs. Dilbeck, wasn't it?
Well, the whole thing was a mistake, Squire. That clothes dummy you sold him is what caused the whole trouble.
The clothes dummy?
Yeah, ever since he got the thing, he's been calling it Mr. Dilbeck. Said it reminded him of that Mr. Dilbeck that worked in their bank in there at the county seat.
Oh, yes, I remember. He did say that it looked like him, yes.
Well, the other day here, he was putting them women's clothes on it and started calling it Ms. Dilbeck.
Well, I'll declare.
The day he dressed it up, he was carrying on in here, acting a fool, putting his arm around it and kissing it. Oh. Sister Simpson happened to pass the store and seen him and called up his wife, Lizabeth, and told her Abner was carrying on with another woman.
Well, so Elizabeth is jealous of a clothes dummy.
Yeah, but that ain't half of it. Cedric was trying to explain it to Elizabeth and made the mistake of saying it was Miss Dilbeck Abner was kissing.
Oh, my goodness alive.
So Elizabeth hung up the receiver on Cedric and turned around and called up Charlie Dilbeck and told him Abner was carrying on with his wife.
Yes, well, that Charlie is a bad actor, too, yes.
Yeah, he come over here to give Abner a whooping, but Abner found out he was coming and went out and hid somewheres, and we ain't heard from him since.
Well, I can't say that I blame him long. I believe I'd hide, too, if Charlie Dilbeck was looking for me.
Well, Charlie ain't looking for him no more, though. See, I explained the whole thing to Charlie and showed him the dummy and all. He's all right now.
But Abner's still hiding, huh?
Yeah, we can't find him to tell him everything's all right.
Well, maybe he's over at his house hiding, though.
No, I know he ain't over there. His wife's still mad at him. She won't even let him come on the place.
Well, can't he explain to her that it was just a clothes dummy that he was embracing?
No, nobody can explain to her. She's mad as a wet setting hen, won't listen.
Yes, well, Abner has always let that wife of his run over him. You ought to instill some confidence in him, Lum. Build himself up to where he'll stand up for himself.
Yeah, ought to, I reckon. I don't know how I'd go about doing it. He's scared to death of that woman.
Yes, but if a man was to use the right psychology on Abner, why, he could be built up to where he'd declare himself at home, be the master of his household.
Yeah, I believe he could whoop her if he'd stand up and fight. She's just run over him so long, he's lost confidence in himself. I wish he'd get things straightened out, son. He ain't worth a nickel here in the store. Me and Cedric here's got to tend to all the rabbits and run the store and everything else.
Rabbits?
Yeah, we've got a whole feed room full of rabbits back there. We're going into the rabbit raising business. We're going to have a whole rabbit farm.
Well, I declare I hadn't heard it. Can a man make money in that business, Lum?
Make money? $5 a pair is what they're bringing. We seen an advertisement in a farm journal. That's the price they're quoting on them.
Well, I understand that as the sea trunk is selling at 25 cents apiece.
Yeah, I heard he was cutting the price. I'm going over there and buy all he's got. Who's that coming up out there in front, Mr. Lum? There. Oh,
I don't believe I know him. Walks familiar.
Well, I'll be dad blame. You know who that is? It's Abner.
Abner?
Yeah, he thinks he's got himself disguised. Thinks he's fooling somebody. Them whiskers he's got on is the ones he used for that Santa Claus get-up last Christmas. I know him anywhere.
I believe you're right, Lum. I believe that's exactly who it is.
Of course, that's who it is. Disguising himself so Charlie Dilbeck won't know him more than likely. Son, dear goodness, such a get-up. Don't let on like we know who it is. We'll have some fun out of it.
Oh, of course not. Oh.
I never noticed Mr. Abner having long whiskers like that before.
Not so loud, Cedric. Them's false whiskers. Don't let on now. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, howdy.
What can I do for you?
Well, I just... Oh, don't you know me?
No, I can't say that I do. What's your name?
Charlie.
Charlie who? You're not Charlie Dilbeck, are you?
Oh, my goodness, no, not him. No, not that feller. I'm Charlie, Smith. Yeah, that's what it is. Charlie Smith. Just call me Charlie for short.
You're not Charlie Smith that lives over there by board camp, are you?
No, I don't much believe I am. I don't even look like him.
Who do you look like?
Well, I look more like Santa Claus, I reckon. I ain't saying why, but I know.
Well, I'm mighty glad to know you, Mr. Smith. Shake hands with Mr. Skimp.
Well, proud to know you.
Yes, glad to know you, my good man.
And this is Mr. Weehunt.
Howdy, Cedric.
How do you do, sir? Whereabouts you get them whiskers at?
You oughtn't to ask such questions, Cedric. Tell by looking that they growed on there.
Of course they did. Who said I just stuck them on there?
He never meant nothing by it. I'm sorry, Mr. Smith.
You live here in town, Mr. Smith?
Yeah. No, I don't either. I'm a stranger. Just passing through here, I think.
Well, that's interesting. I hope you like our town.
Yeah. Well, it's all right for a little town. I'm a city feller myself.
Yeah, I could tell that by looking at you. Have you got any relatives living here?
No, I'm an orphan. I feel so sorry for me sometimes. No mama or papa.
Yeah, that is sad.
I know an awful nice feller lives here, though. Abner Peabody.
Who?
Abner Peabody.
Abner Peabody. Name's familiar.
Don't you know, I own half of this store here.
Oh, that feller. Well, he don't live here no more. He skipped the country.
And a good riddance, I might add.
Yeah, I was awful glad to see him go.
Oh, yes, it's the best thing that ever happened to this community when he got out of town, yes.
No telling how much stuff he stole while he was here in this store.
Well, now, I wouldn't say too much if I was you fellas. He might hear you.
Oh, he's gone. But if he did hear me, I wouldn't care.
Well, he might fight you for saying things like that.
I hardly think so.
No, not Abner. He wouldn't fight nobody.
No, a man that would let his wife run over him the way he did would be afraid to start a fight.
Yeah, he was an awful coward.
Well, now, he could have fought if he'd wanted to. Now, there was a man that didn't know how strong he was.
Who, me?
No, Abner Peabody we're talking about. He could have whipped Charlie Dilbeck.
Well, I didn't know he was so stout.
Well, he didn't either. Just stout as a mule.
Well.
I was scared to death of him all the time he was here in the store. Of course, I never let him know it, though.
Well, good for him.
Yes, he was sort of a wiry type. He didn't look particularly strong, but he was just a bundle of muscle.
Yeah, that's him, all right. Yeah, awful stout feller.
I've always said that there was no reason for him to be run over at home either. That wife of his nagged the life out of him. And it was his fault.
His fault?
Why, yes. A man like him could have been the head of his house.
Oh, yeah.
All he would have to do is just assert himself.
Do what to himself?
Just come right out flat-footed one time and tell her that he was the boss of that house, and he wasn't going to take any more back talk.
Yeah, that's what he ought to do.
Ain't no use of him hiding around afraid to go home, neither.
Of course, ain't. Strong as he is, he could whoop her with one hand tied behind him.
Why, he wouldn't even have to hit her. If he just would go over to his house and lay the law down to her, she'd be just as meek as a kitten.
Why, of course she would.
And think twice as much of him, too.
Yeah, they don't care nothing about you till you knock them down a couple of times.
That's the way to talk. It's a shame Abner never felt that way, too.
Well, that settles it, fellers. I gotta be going.
Don't rush off, Mr. Smith.
I doggies, I'm going over there and tell a certain woman where to head in at.
Now you're talking.
Tell her I'm the head of that house and I don't need to take no more back calls. I'll see you after a while.
Yeah, glad to meet you, Mr. Smith.
Well, it worked, Lum.
Yeah, Granny, I don't know whether we done right or not, Squire, sending him over there that way. I'm going to feel awful bad about it if she hurts him.
Well, it'll either work, Lum, or it won't. But we'll know when we see Abner again.
Well, life is certainly full of uncertainties, even down in Pine Ridge, isn't it? You know, I have an idea that most of you folks who are tuned in for Lum and Abner now have planned good times for the weekend that lays ahead. You get a lot of fun out of going places and doing things with your family, your friends, don't you? The only trouble is it's mighty easy to get so busy having a good time that you overdo it. And then the fireworks start. An upset stomach, a headache, acid indigestion. These are the penalties we pay. But say, have you ever taken Alka-Seltzer for these common after-the-party ailments? Well, you should, because it offers remarkable relief. When you dissolve an Alka-Seltzer tablet or two in a glass of water like this, it makes a pleasant-tasting, effervescent solution which offers twofold relief. The analgesic, that sodium acetylsalicylate, acts to bring quick relief for headaches and muscular aches and pains and fatigue. And the alkalizing properties offer fast, pleasant relief for minor stomach upsets and morning-after misery. Be sure to drink a glass of sparkling Alka-Seltzer the very next time you let yourself go and have too good a time. You'll feel better fast. Get a package of Alka-Seltzer tablets from your druggist tonight. The chances are you'll need the quick relief they offer before the weekend is over. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Believing that Abner's wife, Lizabeth, has been imposing on the old fellow, Squire Skimp suggested that they use a little psychology on him. They now have Abner believing he's possessed of superior strength and should be the master of his home. As we look into the little community today, we find Lum and Cedric down at the Jotham Down store discussing the matter. Listen.
Oh, sir, I never seen a feller change so in my life.
Yeah, it just goes to show how powerful that psychology is.
Well, what is that psychology anyway, Mr. Lum? I heard you and Mr. Squire talking about using it on Mr. Abner yesterday, but I never did see you do it.
Well, you couldn't see us using it on him, Cedric. See, we was bragging on how strong he was, trying to build up confidence in himself, so he'd stop letting Lizabeth run over him.
Well, will that psychology keep a man's woman from running over him?
Well, we figured if we could get Abner to believing he was strong enough to whip anybody in town, he wouldn't be feared to assert himself. And it worked, too. She had him scared to come home, you know.
Yes, Mom, I know she did.
Granny, he went over there and told her where to head in, threatened to give her a whipping. She got just as docile as a kitten, begging him to forgive her.
Well, I believe he used too much of that stuff on him, though, the way he's been acting. Tried to pick a fight with me all morning long, calling me names and everything else.
Oh, I know he's awful. I got so mad at him myself this morning I could have beat bumps on his head. But we got to humor him, Cedric. Keep him thinking he's a great fighter. Squire says that's the only way to make him have confidence in himself.
Is that what psychology is? Going around fighting fellers?
No, you can use it for anything.
Keep making a fellow think something until he believes it. Like if I said you was a dog, and then everybody else started saying you was a dog, you'd get to believing it yourself.
No, nobody couldn't make me believe that. I ain't even got but 2 feet.
Well, if everybody you seen said it, though, I'd tell you was a dog, and Ezra C. Strunk said you was a dog, and everybody got to whistling at you, instead of calling you, saying, "Here, Cedric, here, Cedric. Here, boy, here, boy." Wait a minute, Cedric. Cedric, quit thinking about that. You ain't no dog.
I know it. I'm just trying it out to see how it sounds if I was a dog.
Well, don't do that. Granny, you scared the life out of me. I feared I'd went too far with you. All these rabbits in here, too.
Oh, well, I wouldn't chase them rabbits, Mr. Lum.
You can't tell what that psychology will make you do. What do you think you're doing?
Just seeing how it'd sound if I was a train. If I'm going to change, that's what I'd rather be, I think. Then I could just go all over the country for nothing.
Yeah, it would be nice, all right.
Go up to Kansas City and back myself into the depot there and load up for California.
Cedric, for goodness sake. What's that?
Oh, cow on the track. Mister, though.
Wait a minute here, Cedric. Cedric, stop the train. Sit down a minute.
I don't know whether I'm a passenger or a freight train.
Well, what difference does it make?
Well, if I'm a passenger train, somebody ought to be taking up tickets.
Well, you better leave that psychology alone. Here, that stuff's too strong for you. Besides, yonder comes Abner. We better get to work. You know what he said when he left out of here.
Well, do we have to mind him, everything he says?
I reckon so. Humor him for a while anyway. Find out. Here he comes.
What are you two sitting back there for? I told you to wash them front windows, didn't I?
We was just fixing to, Abner. Just got done sweeping out.
Yeah, you're always just fixing to do something. I'm getting dead blame sick and tired of this laziness around here. Either get busy or I'm going to beat the daylights out of both of you.
Come on, Cedric. Get a bucket of water.
Oh, it's too late now. I've got something else for you to do. I got 208 rabbits coming over here this afternoon. I want you to fix a place for them.
Oh, did you make a deal with Ezra?
Well, if it's any of your business, yes, I did.
Well, good. Well, now we're really getting in the rabbit business.
Beat him down to 30 cents apiece for them, too.
30 cents? The squire told me Ezra wasn't asking but 25 cents apiece for them.
What are you trying to do? Tell me how to run this business?
Well, no, but I'm a half partner in it. Don't forget that.
Yes, but I'm running it. Don't forget that, neither. I'll pull your chain when I want you to bark.
Wish I was a dog. Dad blame if I wouldn't bite him.
What's that, Cedric?
Nothing.
You better mind out.
Nothing.
I ain't a half a minute off of you. Let's see you knock this match off my shoulder. I double dog dare you to knock it off.
Abner, leave Cedric alone.
Well, maybe you'd like to knock it off.
What are you trying to do, start a fight?
Well, I hadn't thought nothing about it, but ain't nothing suit me any better. Got to have my exercise. Come on, put up your dukes. Put them up. I'll take you both on at once. Come on, fight.
Nobody wants to fight.
Yeah, feel that muscle in my arm. Just feel it.
I don't want to feed your muscle.
Feel that muscle, I said.
Yeah, that's fine. Wonderful. Regular powerhouse.
I might take up box fighting. Powerful Peabody, the Pine Ridge Panther. Give him that old 1-2. I dog it, I'll do better than that. I'll give him a 3, 4, 5, and 6. 7, too, if they get smart with me. Dad blame, I'd have whooped that Mose Mooch if he'd have been home.
Mose wouldn't be home this time of day. He'd be down to his barber shop. You go over to his house looking for him?
No, I figured he wouldn't be there. Don't ask so many questions. Get to work there, both of you. Take all that canned goods and dry goods out of them shelves over there.
Take them out of the shelves?
You heard me.
Well, what do you want us to do with them?
Throw them on the floor, any place, I don't care. Then I want you to take a roll of chicken wire and stretch it right over the front of all them shelves. I'm going to make rabbit pens out of them.
Rabbit pens?
Well, that ain't gonna look right. Nothing but shelves full of rabbits around the store.
Nobody asked your opinion.
Well, what's gonna happen to the store?
We ain't interested in the store. We're in the rabbit-raising business. Go on, get busy there before I whop you on. Bring me a drink of water, Cedric.
Well, the water's sitting right there on the counter by you, Mr. Abner.
I never asked where it was at. I said, bring me a drink of water.
Get him a drink of water, Cedric.
You can get that stuff down off of them top shelves there, Slim.
Get the stuff. Who you calling Slim?
Who am I looking at? You, Starkey. If you go any taller, you're going to fork again.
All right.
Here's your water, Mr. Abner.
Put it back. It's too long getting here with it.
Oh.
Besides, there comes that Grandpappy Spears. Look at him walking up there. He thinks he's smart. I ought to just meet him at the door is what I ought to do. Start me a uppercut right from the floor. Catch him right on the button. Just turn him a double flip right back into the street.
Now, don't be jumping on that old man, Abner.
What's the matter? Don't you think I can whoop him?
You ought to. He's 82-year-old. Right up to where he won't weigh 100 pounds.
Well, you just keep out of this now. Nobody asked you to say nothing. I've been laying off to give him a whipping for a long time.
Now, don't start nothing with him, Abner.
No, started.
Come in, Grandpap.
Yeah, hi, Billy.
Hey, howdy, Billy. Where'd you get that name for me?
Oh, that's just what you look like. A dad-blamed old Billy Goat.
Oh, come on, Abner. You will have your josh, won't you? You must be feeling good today.
I ain't joshing. You want to fight? Come on, stick up your dukes. Get up.
No, me no, Abner, not me. Anyway, I'm stove up as rheumatiz now. I couldn't whip my saddle. Hardly.
Hey, you stove up pretty bad?
Oh, my, yes. My giant water's dried up to where I can't hardly get up and down.
Well, I believe you're wearing that hat too far back on your head.
What's the matter with it?
Oh, let's see how it looks down over your eyes. Right?
Oh, don't, Abner. I can't see nothing. Don't, Abner. You're stretching my hat. Yeah.
Gogies, what did it take to make you mad? What if I'd tweak your nose? Like that.
Hey, don't do that.
Come on, sit down there. Stay off. Come on, stay off a little bit. I'll twist that blame thing off. Come on, stay off. I'll say it.
Turn loose of that nose or I'm going to bust.
Come on, say it.
Hey, you're carrying things too far.
Stay off. Come on.
Turn loose, I'm going to hit you now.
Say it. Oh.
Oh, my goodness. Abner, get up. You get your clothes all dirty laying on the floor that way. Abner, reckon I hurt him long? No. Thank you, Grandpap. Get a bucket of water and douse on him, Cedric. He's cured now, I think. Sit down, Grandpap, sit down. What's new? Oh, nothing, I don't reckon. What about Abner there? Oh, let him lay there and rest a minute. He's got some rabbit pins to build quick as he comes to.
Well, it looks as though Lum and Abner are going to be much too busy down in Pine Ridge for the next few weeks to take any time off.
That's our ring. Time for Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, the Jotham Down store is being somewhat neglected these days, as Lum and Abner are concentrating on the rabbit business. They recently acquired all the rabbits Ezra Seastrunk had, and all the available space in the store has now been converted into rabbit hutches. As we look in on the old fellows today, Cedric is out cutting alfalfa for the rabbits, and we find Lum and Abner down at the store.
You sure now you ain't mad at me?
No, I ain't mad, Abner.
Well, you won't talk to me. Ain't said a dozen words to me all morning. Just sit there and write in that book. That's all you do.
Well, I'm trying to get up a set of books for our rabbits. I have to concentrate.
Oh, well, them rabbits can't read, Lum.
Well, it ain't for the rabbits. It's for us to read.
Oh, well, good. Read it out loud, Lum. Is it about Peter Rabbit?
This is bookkeeping books, Abner, so's we know how we're doing.
Oh, well, how are we doing?
Well, I can't tell yet. I ain't done. But I don't think we're making any money so far.
Ain't, huh?
Well, of course, we're getting more rabbits every day. They're increasing.
Oh, my goodness, yes. Them shelves is getting so full, we're going to have to put them over on this side of the store, too, Lum.
Well, we've got to keep these shelves over here for merchandise, Abner. One side for rabbits and the other side for groceries and dry goods.
You look awful pretty sitting up there in them shelves, though. That was a good idea, putting that chicken wire over them shelves. Saved us building a lot of pens.
Yeah, but we can't go clean out of the grocery business. Till we start selling some rabbits, we're going to need all the money we take in on groceries to feed the rabbits with.
Yeah, that patch of alfalfa we bought just about used up already.
Yeah. Only trouble I found of the rabbit business so far is what it costs to feed them.
Well, that alfalfa is a whole lot cheaper than that canned spinach that we was feeding them.
Oh, yeah.
That stuff runs into money fast. But did they love it?
Well, they clean up that alfalfa, too.
Oh, yeah. Keep Cedric busy cutting it for them and carrying it over here.
That's what I say. We've got to watch our overhead.
Got to watch what?
Our overhead. What the rabbits are eating.
They're eating alfalfa.
Well, alfalfa's overhead.
Alfalfa is hay. When it's dried out, anyway.
Well, anything could be overhead. Cedric's overhead.
Has he been eating that alfalfa? No wonder we're using so much.
No, he ain't eating the alfalfa.
He ain't eating the rabbits, is he?
He ain't eating nothing.
Cedric's on a diet?
I don't know. What I mean is...
Well, he'll starve to death, Lum.
Abner, as far as I know, he's eating 3 meals a day. I'm talking about overhead. Expense of running the business.
You're just exactly right about it, too. We can't feed Cedric and the rabbits both.
Who said anything about feeding Cedric?
Well, what in the world have we been talking about?
Just leave Cedric out of it.
Oh, taking up for him, huh? And him overhead, too.
Oh, swan to goodness, Abner. If you mention Cedric again, I'm going to whop you on. Just hush up about it.
Yeah, see there. I told you was mad and wouldn't talk to him.
I ain't mad. I'm trying to concentrate here.
Oh, no. I can tell you're still mad because I started that Lucas with Grandpappy Spears and then tried to pick a fight with you and Cedric.
I ain't no such a thing. That's all over. It was my fault anyway.
Oh, no, it wasn't, no. You was just as nice as you could be, Lum. And I wouldn't have blamed you if you'd have just beat the daylights out of me. You ought to hit me is what you ought to done. Going around here trying to fight everybody.
I told you it was my fault. I started that psychology on you, telling you could whip anybody in town. And you got to believing it yourself.
Yeah, I don't know what got into me. I sure believed it there for a while, though.
Well, here your wife was mad at you and you was too big a fraidy cat to go home. I just had to put a little confidence in you.
Well, it's still working on Lizabeth. She's just as nice as she can be. Treats me just like I'm company.
Well, good for you.
Over there at dinner yesterday, just stood right there by my chair and waited on me hand and foot.
Well, it was a good idea then.
Yeah. Of course, I never had no business jumping on Grandpapa.
Well, you just had yourself built up to where you thought you ought to be fighting all the time. It was my fault for using so much psychology on you.
Yeah, well, you just meant for me to fight Lizabeth, though. I don't blame you for being mad, Lum.
But I ain't mad, though.
I oughtn't to be bothering you working on them books there. You've got a perfect right not to talk to me if you don't feel like it.
Well, it ain't that I don't feel like it, Abner. I just can't talk and concentrate on these books, too.
Sure. I understand, Lum. Sometimes I get mad at people that way, and I stay mad at them for a whole week at a time.
I told you I ain't mad.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you are. I can tell now.
Blame it, I've told you a dozen times. I ain't mad.
Well, I've got it coming to me, the way I acted. I don't blame you one bit for not wanting to talk to me. Not one little bitty bit.
All right, I'll talk to you.
Well, good.
What do you want to talk about?
Oh, I don't care. Anything.
Let's see. Hope we make some money out of these rabbits. Don't you?
Yeah.
Nice weather today.
Uh-huh.
How you feeling?
Fine.
I hope we make some money out of it. Oh, I said that, didn't I?
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, what about you talking? I can't do it all.
Well, I ain't mad, though, Lum.
Well, I ain't neither. That's the reason I'm trying to talk to you. Prove to you I ain't.
Well, it's nice of you to try that way, Lum, but that's more likely the reason you can't talk. You're just so mad.
How many times have I got to tell you I ain't mad?
Well, you're sure sounding like you're mad.
If you say mad one more time, I'm going to get out of
there. See there. Your face is just as red as a beet. Look at you. You're shaking all over.
Get up out of that chair. I'm going to prove to you I ain't mad if I have to whip you all over this store to do it. I'm getting sick and tired.
Here, now, what's going on in here, man?
Oh. Howdy, Squire. Come in.
What are you two fellas trying to do here? Start a fight?
No,
I'm just mad at me over something.
Abner, I told... sit down, Squire.
Oh, yes, thank you, Lum. Pretty well. I'm just glad I happened along when I did. Why, you two fellas been tied up in a hard knot there in another minute.
Yeah, I know it. What's new, Squire?
Oh, nothing much to the know of, Lum. Seems to be about the same old 6 and 7. How's the rabbit business?
Oh, looking good. Sure, we hope we make some money out of the rabbits.
You said that a minute ago, Lum.
You keep out of this.
Oh.
Yes, sir. I believe we're in a business now we can make some money out of, Squire.
Well, I'm glad to hear it, Lum. Glad to hear it.
Started out here, we had 20 rabbits. Abner traded for them, taking them in on a debt.
Yes, I know that, yes.
Then we went the other day, went over and bought all the we had. We've got 321 now.
I think I've plenty to talk to him about.
We'll have the rabbit business cornered in this state first thing you know.
321, huh? Let's see now. Just write that down so I won't forget it here.
321, last count.
What do you figure those rabbits are worth, Lum? About $40?
$40? For all of them?
Well, they're $25 then.
For goodness sakes, what's wrong with you, Squire? Don't you know nothing about rabbits at all?
Well, very little. That was just an estimate, Lum.
Hand me that pencil there. I'll tell you what they were.
Yeah, sure.
There's 321 of them, and figure them at $5 a pair.
They're not mad at me. There's many of them.
That'd be 160 and a half pairs. Better figure it at $10 a pair. By the time we get the market cornered, that's what we'll be getting from. That's better than $1,600.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Lum. You're mistaken, eh? They can't be worth that kind of money, no.
Well, don't try to tell me what our rabbits is worth. You think you're talking to a couple of poor fellas. You've got another guess coming. I said they're worth $1,600, and that's just what they're worth, every nickel of it.
Well, just as you say, Lum, just as you say, I'll put it down, $1,600.
I don't care whether you put it down or not, but that's what they're worth.
Well, I have to put it down. You see, Lum, I took a job today as a deputy tax assessor. I'm here to place a valuation on your personal property. Yes, rabbits. $1,600.
That's our ring. Time for Lum and Abner.
Lum made a bad mistake yesterday when talking with Squire Skimp. He boastingly raised the value of their rabbits to $10 a pair, only to learn later that the squire had just been appointed deputy tax assessor. As we look in on our friends today, we find Lum and Abner and Cedric down at the Jot 'em Down store. Lum is still trying to figure out some way to get those taxes reduced. Listen.
How many rabbits did you count?
I never finished counting them. Cedric's doing it, though.
Well, he'll get it all mixed up. You ought to count them yourself.
I just can't do it, Lum. I get so dead blame sleepy before I get done counting them things, I just can't finish them.
Sleepy?
Yeah, it's just like counting sheep. Get up to about 100, and the first thing I know, Cedric's waking me up again.
For goodness sakes.
Fact is, I believe they work better than sheep.
I wanted Cedric to go find Squire Skimp for me.
Well, don't bother him now, Lum. He's been interrupted twice and had to start over again.
Well, we've got to see Squire before he sends that assessment in to the tax collector.
Yeah, well, he's over at the barber shop. Or was a while ago.
Yeah, I'll call him up and get him over here. I believe I can talk him down on that assessment.
And you had no business telling him that them rabbits was worth $10 a pair in the first place.
Well, I never knowed he was a deputy tax assessor. He taken their advantage of us, is what he done.
Yeah, snake in the weeds.
They ought to make them fellers wear a sign on his hat, like them fellers that works on trains, saying conductor.
Well, that wouldn't help none if the sign said conductor, would it?
I mean, put a sign on them saying tax assessor, beware, or something like that.
Oh. Well, that'd get the folks on a train awful mixed up.
Well, what I mean is have one cap say conductor and the other one say tax collector.
Oh, yeah, sure. He could just change caps whenever he went to tax assess somebody.
Abner, it ain't the same feller. Oh, for goodness sake. Nothing, let it go.
Well, that squire never told me he was working on a railroad, too.
Squire ain't working on no railroad.
They fired him already?
He never was working for the railroad.
Well, who is it going around with that conductor's cap on, assessing taxes in, trying to fool everybody?
Nobody. Nobody ain't wearing no conductor's cap.
Well, who takes up the tickets then? The tax assessor?
No, the conductor. How in the world do you get yourself so mixed up?
Well, it ain't my fault. That fella changing them caps every time you turn around's enough to mix anybody up.
Oh, to goodness. Let me call Squire Skimp before you get me so mixed up. I don't know what I'm doing, neither.
Yeah, tell him to put both signs on the same cap, Lum.
Huh?
He can put two signs on the same cap, conductor and tax assessor, say one cap anyway.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I know he'll be glad to hear that.
Yeah, that's the way I'd do it.
Hello, Mose. Is Squire Skimp there?
Just exactly.
Let me speak to him, please.
I seen a fella at the taxis on his cap once, but I think he's running a cab.
Hello, Squire. I just wondered if you could run over to the store for a few minutes.
Get myself one of them family razor.
All right, Squire. Goodbye.
Is he coming over?
Yeah, he'll be over in a minute. Now, you keep out of it, Abner, and let me handle this thing myself. We got to get them taxes reduced.
Are you going to jump on him, Lum?
No, I've got a way studied up.
You have?
I found out this morning the only reason he taken that job was so he could get the assessment down on his house over there. You know what he assessed his property at?
His home place?
Yeah, $150.
Well, it's worth a heap more than that. That place is worth $2,000 or $3,000. He's cheating himself.
No, he just pays taxes on $150. He's cheating the government. And he put our taxes in way too high.
Yeah, well, now, you was the one that told him what them rabbits was worth, Lum. He never done it.
Well, no. He don't have to believe everything I say, does he?
Well, he said that he never thought they were worth that much, but you just insisted that they was worth $1,600, $10 a pair is what you said.
Yeah, he tricked me into that, though. I never knowed he was a tax assessor.
No.
Or to make them fellers wear signs like a conductor. Nothing, I'm sorry I said it. Here comes Squire.
Yeah, he ain't wearing no cap of no kind. Got on a hat, Lum.
I know it, I can see. Come in, Squire.
Yeah, howdy, Squire.
Well, gentlemen.
How's railroading?
Oh, how's that, Abner?
Nothing, Squire. Don't pay no attention to him. Have a seat there.
Yes, thank you, Lum. Thank you.
I want to talk to you again about that assessment you put on them rabbits yesterday. That's way yonder too high.
Now, Lum, we went over all of that yesterday, and there's nothing that I can do about it. You gave me the figures yourself, Lum. Said you had 321 rabbits. That's 160 pair, roughly. And you said they were worth $10 a pair. That's $1,600. That's the figures you gave me yourself.
Yeah, but you know how I exaggerate things, Squire. I was just joshing, I think.
Yeah, if you'd have had that other cap on to where we'd have known who you was, why, we wouldn't have said that.
Abner, I told you to keep out of this.
Oh.
Well, what cap is that, Abner?
Oh, he thinks you ought to wear a tax collector's cap, Squire.
You was the one that said that yourself.
Don't pay no attention to him, Squire. He's all mixed up. We couldn't get no $10 a pair for them rabbits if it was to try to go to sell them.
Well, now, I'm not interested in all that, Lum. I just put down the figure that you gave me. And now that you found out that I'm tax collector, why, you want to lower the value. That would be beating the state out of tax money. And, Lum, you surely know me well enough to know that I wouldn't be a party to any kind of a deal that was the least bit on the shady side.
What kind of assessment did you put on your home place over there?
I don't know that has anything to do with this, Lum. In fact, the tax assessor isn't allowed to tell what other property is valued at, no.
Well, I happen to know that you put it in at $150. Ezra Seastrunk seen the paper when you was over there at his place yesterday.
I wouldn't believe Ezra on oath, Lum. Wouldn't believe Ezra, no.
Well, all right, Squire. I thought I'd talk to you about it first. But if you don't feel like making any changes, just leave our assessment at $1,600, and I'm going into the tax collector's office and see that your place is put back up to where it belongs.
Oh, well, now, wait just a minute now, Lum. Now, wait a minute. Not too hasty. That's your trouble, Lum. You always wanting to start something here with somebody. Now, there ought to be some way to adjust this equitably, Lum.
Yes, you have.
Fair to both of us. Yes. See, as a deputy tax assessor, Lum, I'm a servant of the public. That's why I took the job, as a great personal sacrifice to myself, just so that I could help my friends.
Well, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah,
not only acting in the capacity of tax assessor, but also as a very close personal friend of yours, Lum. I'm frank to tell you that I believe you placed the valuation of those rabbits of yours a little too high.
Well, that's just what I've been trying to tell you.
Well, I didn't understand what you were talking about, Lum. No. Now, what do you figure is a fair appraisal?
Well, I don't know, hardly.
We seen an advertisement in a farm journal where they was offering them for $5 a pair.
Abner.
Well, I think that's fair enough. Yes, now that'll just cut your valuation half in two.
I reckon that's all right. I just wish, though, we'd waited to buy that batch of rabbits off of Ezra's Eastrunk. Got 208 just 2 or 3 days ago. Ordered waited and let him pay the taxes.
Yes, that's too bad you didn't think about that, Lum. Too bad. But I have to assess you on the basis of the number you have when I call, Lum. So, let's see, now, we figure them at $5 a pair, then.
680. We've got 680 rabbits now.
Oh, why, we couldn't have that many, could we?
Yes, Mom. Nearly every one of them rabbits we got from Ezra Seastrunks has got little baby rabbits now.
Well.
Are you sure you count them right, Cedric?
Yes, Mom. I counted all their ears and then divided it by 2.
Well, good for us.
My grannies, that's making money in a hurry, you know it?
Well, now, according to these figures here, 680 rabbits at $5 a pair, that figures $1,700. Why, Lum, you're $100 worse off than you was yesterday.
Huh?
I'm sorry, gentlemen. Very sorry.
Well. That's something, isn't it? Now, here's something that millions of people always remember, and Lum and Abner would like you to remember it, too. Just remember that ALKASELTZER spells relief. although it's pronounced Alka-Seltzer. If you want to be scientific about it, there are two very definite reasons why Alka-Seltzer brings relief in so many common aches and pains. One is the action of its analgesic, sodium acetylsalicylate, and the other its alkalizing qualities. But putting the scientific reasons aside, actually the things you want to know in plain English are, can Alka-Seltzer relieve my headache? Can it relieve my sore muscles? Can Alka-Seltzer help my upset stomach and the sickish feeling after I've overindulged in food or drink? And the answer is, emphatically, yes. But there's only one way for you to find out about Alka-Seltzer's relief, and that's to be sure you have it on hand when these common ailments, these common joy killers, come along. So go to your drugstore and say Alka-Seltzer, and be sure to ask for the large size because it's far more economical to use. Lum and Abner are now on the air every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday evening at 7:15 p.m. over this station. However, because of a special broadcast tomorrow evening, they'll not be heard. Be sure then to listen to Lum and Abner Monday night at this same time. Lou Crosby speaking. See you Monday. This is the National Broadcasting Company.